Hi everyone, welcome back to RAW.FPL. So in this one, it's the first video of the 25-26 season. I've had quite a nice break really from FPL. I got married, I went on a 3-week honeymoon, and now, back to FPL. So I've quickly put this draft together. It's by no means locked in, but I am pretty happy with it, to be honest. I know Isaac, he could potentially be leaving Newcastle, so that could change my thinking. I would quite like to have him if he goes to Liverpool. But yeah, some good picks. I think the pricing's pretty bang on, to be fair, this season. So yeah, if you do like this one, please do drop a like. If you are new around here, I will be doing videos every week. So I'll be doing a team selection video each week just to show you how the team evolves and show you how I'm getting on. So yeah, if you are new around here, do please consider subscribing. And let's jump into the video. Okay, so looking at this team then, as I say, it's not like locked in or anything, but I am pretty happy with it, to be honest. There's certain areas which I'm locked in, and I think the defence, I'm pretty happy with it so far. Sanchez, I think, is locked in. There are some like good 4.5 mil goalkeepers, and you know you've got like Raya, who's 5.5 mil, so he's quite cheap to get into the Arsenal defence. But obviously, a massive change this season is the defensive contributions. So I do think we'll see a bit of a shift going from like the wing backs, which we all just chose, to centre backs, because centre backs, they've got that goal threat, but now they'll get points for the defensive contributions as well. So yeah, as you can see there, I've actually got two centre backs. But starting in goal anyway, Sanchez, I think he probably is in my opinion, probably one of the best goalkeepers, because he's only 5 mil and they have got some good fixtures as well coming up. Like the first 6 fixtures are pretty good. So you've got Palace, West Ham, Fulham, Brentford, and then Man United. I've still not figured out this website. I'm not a big fan of it, to be honest. I preferred the older one. But anyway, there's Sanchez, 5 mil. As I say, you've also got, like Kelleher, 4.5 mil at Brentford. But Brentford, I'm just not sure. They've obviously got a new manager. They've lost quite a lot of the players. Same at Bournemouth as well. They've lost a load of their defenders. So I just think paying that 0.5 more to get Chelsea's goalkeeper, I think is probably worth it. And they obviously, the defence looked really good at the back end of the season. And, against, PSG, for example, they're absolutely solid. So, yeah, 5 mil seems a pretty good price. Then Gabriel, we all know how much of a monster he can be from set pieces. I think he probably is the most, attacking and the best goal threat for a centre-back. So I like Gabriel. It should be boosted as well by the defensive contributions, although because it's Arsenal, they don't have to do as much defending as some of the lower teams. So he probably won't get as much as like an Everton defender, for example, in terms of defensive contributions, but he's still really good goal threat. So yeah, and also Arsenal, they probably are the best, if not one of the best defences in the league. So I really like Gabriel. It's the same with Van Dijk as well. These two are both going to start. You could go for like Frimpong, or you could go for someone a bit more risky, but like Kirkis, for example. But I just think at Liverpool they've got so many options. You've got Kirkes. I imagine he will start most of them, but he's also got Simicast. He's got Robertson there as well, and then Van Dijk. He's not even more expensive anymore. He's only 6 mil. The same as all of them. So I just think, especially game week 1, you go for security, and that's what you go with Van Dijk. When he's fit, he's going to play most or pretty much every game. He's going to play pretty much every minute of those games as well, and he has got good goal threat. So that's Gabriel, that's Van Dijk. Udogie, now, he has been quite a bit more attacking under Thomas Frank. So I quite like the look of him. He's only 4.5 mil. And Spurs fixtures, they're not bad. Obviously, Burnley at home. Then they've got Man City, which isn't ideal. Then it's Bournemouth. Then it's West Ham, Brighton. So he's only 4.5 mil, and he does look quite attacking. So, I've gone for him. You could have someone like a Konza, for example. I think there is quite a lot of 4.5 mils. As you can see, I've got De Kuyper there. I probably butchered his name then. But Estupiñán's gone, so he should be their left back. So I really like him, and I really like Udogie. I am tempted to get Konza because I did have him in the draft before, but I just think Udogie and De Kuyper, if they do play and they are playing quite attacking, then they could get a few assists. So yeah, that's the back line there currently. Sanchez in goal. As I said, if you wanted to save 0.5 with 0.5 short, I think Kelleher is probably the next best one. Gabriel, Van Dijk, and then Udogie. I've spent quite a lot in defence. And yeah, we'll see in a minute the attack in the midfield because I think the money's spread around quite nicely. But yeah, let's move on to the midfield. So into midfield, and the first thing you notice is Salah is there right in the middle, and 14.5 mil. Like I think the pricing is pretty perfect to be honest because I've had drafts where I've had Salah, I've had drafts where I've had Haaland, I've had drafts where I've had Salah and Haaland, and then I've had some with neither. So there's just so many different ways to play it this year. But I've gone for Salah. He's just the king of FPL. He's just a monster. He's done it season after season. So yeah, I've gone with Salah. And spoiler alert, I've not got Haaland. So I've gone with Salah and I've gone with Palmer, and they're kind of the two premiums, if you like. And then Rodgers, like I feel like because he was priced so cheaply last year, you almost don't want to pick him at 7 mil. But 7 mil, he sort of covers Watkins a bit as well, who's going to be quite popular. And you just know he's going to play. And he did really well last season. And Villa's opening fixtures, they're not too bad. You know, Newcastle, Brentford, Palace, Everton, Sunderland, they're pretty decent. And yeah, he got 8 goals, 11 assists, and he just plays pretty much all the time. So I like Rodgers, 7 mil, you know he's going to play. And that's kind of the theme for most players in this team. I say most because Kudus, for example, he's just a bit exciting. If he gets regular starts, and if he does get regular starts, I think he'll be great. I really like him as a player. He's just absolutely rapid, you know, down the wing. And the fixtures for Spurs are fairly good, apart from that Man City game. Same as Udogie. So, yeah, I like Kudus. He's a bit of a risk. He could be like an Njai. He could be, you know, someone. 6.5 mil. So you've got Njai. You've got Sarr as well. So Sarr, he could be a shout at Palace. I've just gone for Kudus. I like all of them, to be honest. Njai do have penalties, but I feel like I played quite safe with Palmer, Rodgers, Salah. Obviously, I've got Van Dijk, Gabriel as well. So I feel like a bit of a risk with Kudus. That'd be fine. So yeah, that's Kudus. Let's move on to the front line. So looking at the front line then, and the first thing you'll notice is I've got the new lad. Gyökeres, is it? Yeah, I just think 9 mil, he could be... I mean, it's a bit of a risk. It could be amazing. Equally, Havertz. Havertz could just start the first game, in which case it would be quite funny. But yeah, I just think 9 mil, he could absolutely smash it. And yeah, I just think I've got so many players who are fairly reliable. I've got, obviously, Kudus, and then I've got Gyökeres there. The rest of them are pretty much, you know, you can kind of just forget about them because most of them play, maybe Udogie, but then the rest of them, they're just kind of mainstays. So the two risky players really are Kudus and Gyökeres, and the rest of them are absolutely fine. I just think for 9 mil, he could be an absolute steal. You know, if he gets like 20 plus goals, which I think is fully capable of doing so, then yeah, I really like the look of him. Again, it's not fully set. He could easily beat Isak. What I'd do, if Isak does go to Liverpool, then I'd probably just drop Van Dijk to like a 4.5, so maybe like a Konza or something like that, and then I can upgrade Gyökeres to Isak. But I just don't know. It's like Van Dijk and Gyökeres, or do I go Konza and Isak? I just think the Van Dijk and Gyökeres option's better, even if it is maybe slightly riskier. And also, I'm not 100% that Isak at Liverpool is actually better than Isak at Newcastle, because, you know, they've obviously made loads of new signs as well. Andy won't have any penalties. That'll stay with Salah, I presume. And obviously he'll have reduced minutes. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure about Isak. I think I'm willing to take the risk with Gyökeres. And then I've got Solanke, who he should have penalties because Son, I don't think he'll have as many minutes. So Solanke should have penalties. He's, again, decent fixtures. And I expect, obviously Spurs were terrible last season, but I expect under Frank they should do better. And again, for 7.5 mil, he could be a steal. And then the same with Welbeck. Should be on pens now that Pedro's gone. 6.5 mil, really good value. And Ferguson's left as well. So I don't really know who else Brighton have got. So it should be Welbeck playing up top, and he should have pens for 6.5 mil. And Brighton, they've lost some players, but they're always going to be attacking. So, yeah, I really like the front three. And then I've got, De Kuiper on the bench. I can easily play him in some easier fixtures. And then a Stevie, who should play, 4 million defender. I don't think Ramsey will play. That's the only bad thing. The bench isn't that strong. But yeah, other than that, I really like it. As I said, some tinkering probably will still go on. In fact, definitely will still go on. But yeah, other than that, I really like it. Obviously, Salah, Palmer, they're the premiums with Yerka in there as well. And then I think the defence looks mint as well. So yeah, let me know your thoughts. Who am I missing? Would you try and get Haaland in here? I just personally think that going Salah, Palmer and Haaland is probably too much and you have to sacrifice too much elsewhere. Maybe you could go Salah and just Haaland without Palmer, but then Palmer, we know what you can do. And 10.5 I don't think is a bad price. So yeah, let me know what you think. If you did like this one, please do drop a like and do consider subscribing. I'll be back doing another draft. I don't want to leave it too long, but also if I make some drastic changes, I'll probably do another video. But I will have one, like a final draft, definitely before the deadline. So be sure to subscribe for that, and I'll catch you again next time. Cheers.